June 4th, 1923 was a day that left a lasting mark on horse racing. A day where a young stable boy named Frank Hayes became part of an unforgettable story of tragedy. He was only 22 years old, and he spent his days looking after race horses, feeding them, grooming them, and probably dreaming of being part of competitive horse racing. But Frank wasn't a professional jockey. He didn't have the training or experience to ride in races. So how did he end up racing? The question is, who allowed Frank to race? And the answer is Miss A.M. Frayling, the person who hired him. She must have seen something special in Frank. Maybe she took a chance on him because hiring experienced jockeys can be very expensive. And Frank, with his deep understanding of horses and ability to ride without a saddle, offered a more affordable option. Frank was a natural with horses. Riding bareback without a saddle requires a strong connection with the horse, moving in rhythm together. But racing is much tougher. It's not just about staying on the horse, it's about feeling the horse's every move and keeping your balance at high speeds. Incredibly, Frank managed his first race without any major issues. He stayed balanced and in control, but beneath this success lay a heartbreaking mystery, because Frank Hayes didn't survive that race. The question remains, what happened to this young stable boy? When the sponsors first asked Frank Hayes to ride in a horse race, he felt sure of himself and convinced them that he would win easily. But when race day arrived, things didn't turn out as planned. Frank finished far from the top 10, and one of the reasons for his poor performance was his weight. He was too heavy to be a professional jockey, which not only slowed down the horse but also affected how well he could race. The horse that Frank rode was a thoroughbred, known for its incredible speed and stamina. But sadly, Frank's weight became a disadvantage in this fast-paced race. After losing the race, the sponsors were upset and criticized Frank for his weight, essentially telling him to give up on his dream of horse racing. They were disappointed with the money they had spent on him and didn't want to support him anymore. Despite Frank's attempts to blame the horse's performance, the sponsors insisted on parting ways. But Frank was determined and refused to accept rejection. Somehow he convinced another group of sponsors to give him another chance to race. But tragedy struck during this second race. Remarkably, Frank actually won this second race. However, something went terribly wrong. It was later discovered that Frank had a heart attack while racing and died while still on the horse. Just imagine how shocking and sad it must have been after these unexpected events. Frank's story serves as a reminder of the risks and challenges of pursuing dreams, especially in a demanding sport like horse racing. Frank told the sponsors earlier that he would quickly lose weight, giving himself just a week to do it. Before he committed to this challenge, Frank weighed 142 pounds. To drop the pounds fast, he went on an extreme diet, mainly drinking water and nothing else. Yes, he basically starved himself to qualify for the professional race. By race day, Frank had lost a lot of weight. His weight had gone down from 142 pounds to 130 pounds. Seeing this big change, the sponsors agreed to let him race. To be safe, Frank asked for a strong horse that could handle the race's demands. The sponsors had no problem with this request and arranged for another thoroughbred horse to be his partner. The original name of the horse is a mystery, but some think it was called Ferocious, which means butterfly. If you're enjoying this video, please take a second and subscribe to our channel as well. It helps us create new content for you. Ferocious was an impressive and strong horse, capable of racing like lightning on the track. Sadly, Frank never got to practice with Ferocious. The horse had a lively and wild nature, which ended up being Frank's downfall. Without proper training, Frank joined the race riding this unpredictable and untamed horse. During the race, Ferocious lived up to its name by quickly taking the lead, leaving spectators amazed by its performance. However, the shocking moment came when it was discovered that Frank was found dead on Ferocious' saddle after the race ended. This tragic event shows the risks of entering important races without enough training and preparation. Despite Ferocious' impressive win, the result was a terrible loss with Frank's unexpected death during the exciting race. After Ferocious won the race, officials approached Frank to congratulate him. but to their shock, he suddenly collapsed to the ground. Doctors later found out that Frank's heart was weakened by his extreme diet. It couldn't handle the intense speed and challenges of the race, especially with all the jumps and hurdles. This strain pushed his heart too far, leading to his passing. Even in death, Frank remained seated on the saddle, perfectly aligned with the horse, and secured the victory. Frank was laid to rest in Holy Cross Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York. He was dressed in his racing outfit. As for Firasha, it's unclear what happened to the horse after the race. It's not known if Firasha kept racing or retired from the sport. After Frank's death, people started calling the horse Sweet Kiss as a way of saying it brought a deadly kiss to its riders. Some said this out of jealousy, but the fact was that Frank did pass away while riding the horse. Rumors spread that Sweet Kiss was cursed, and some suggested drastic measures like breaking its legs to break the curse. But the owners didn't believe in superstitions and tried to get Sweet Kiss back into racing. Unfortunately, no one wanted to race or train with a horse rumored to be cursed. So Sweet Kiss spent its days stuck in a stable, losing its wild spirit and becoming pitiful. There were even stories of people trying to harm the horse, either by poisoning its food or attacking its stable to get rid of the curse. In the end, Sweet Kiss never raced again and lived a sad life. The horse's story shows how superstitions and fear can affect even the most powerful and majestic animals. After investigating Frank's background, authorities realized he wasn't fit to be a horse racer. They looked into his sponsors and found out they had pressured him to lose a dangerous amount of weight in just a week, which contributed to his death. This information was made public, leading to changes in racing rules. Now, horse racers must undergo background checks and proper training before participating. Sponsors can't just pick inexperienced racers to save money anymore. These changes have made horse racing much safer. Unfortunately, even after the truth came out about Frank's death, people still considered Sweet Kiss, the horse he rode, to be cursed. No one was willing to give the horse another chance because of this belief. Frank's story highlights the importance of safety in sports and the consequences of taking shortcuts. Horse racing is indeed a challenging and intricate sport, as evidenced by the tragic case of Frank Hayes. Frank's experience teaches us that horse racing is not suitable for inexperienced individuals, regardless of natural talent. Now let's consider whether Frank would have survived if he hadn't undergone an extreme diet. Losing a significant amount of weight in such a short time likely put immense strain on Frank's body, especially during the demanding race. If he hadn't subjected himself to this extreme measure, his chances of surviving the race might have been higher. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and please share this important message with your friends and family to raise awareness about the risks associated with horse racing and the importance of proper training and preparation.